one of the great things is it's usually filled with lots of kids rolling around in the daffodils and parents taking pictures of them. And it's just filled with joy. It's usually really crowded with kids scrambling up over the rocks. And I particularly love scrambling over the rocks myself. And it's just filled with a lot of joy. It's hard not to feel really joyful when looking at daffodils, especially what's probably like 20,000 of them now. Especially coming out of winter and this very long winter, it's just so joyful. So this is usually like the happiest day that we have. I love the herb garden, the colonial herb garden. I've learned so much about herbs and about historical usage of herbs, and about the life of especially women in early parts of the settlement of this country, how difficult life was for women, how easy life was for men, comparatively speaking. Women did everything. They did the cooking, the cleaning, they made the cloth, they dyed the cloth, they made the clothing, and so much of it came from the garden. They grew the plants to make the cloth, they grew the plants to make the dye. They grew a lot of the plants to season the food or to make some of the food. Almost everything that was medicinal they grew in the garden, and they had a lot of health issues, and they had to deal with all those health issues from this garden.
This house was part of a homestead that was settled in 1654. And so there had been denizens living on this land until 1931, when the last denizen passed. And it briefly was unoccupied. And then after the war, luckily, some of the denizens who lived in the area got together and said, wouldn't it be a shame that we lost the land, the look of the land, the feel of the land, the charm, the spell of the land to develop. But I see this as a place that is not stuck in time, but experiences with me, okay, a movement through time. And I'm just kind of the conductor for a while until another one comes along. He's walking by the oldest part of the denizen homestead, which is just an area about the size of a baseball dugout. They lived with their backs to that ledge and the stone wall here, and cooked over there outside. So wherever I look, I see those things because I know they're there. And if I can make somebody else aware of just how difficult it would be to go into wilderness, when we excavated for some drains, we found, among other things, beaver teeth and one mountain lion tooth. So there were wild animals there, howling in the woods, okay, and prowling in the woods. So these are 7 people: man, his 2 workmen, his wife, and 4 children. Against all odds, were able to. I mean, it's the American dream, but you got to start by literally clawing a living from the land. And they were lucky to have those 2 fields, but they sure worked hard at it. And that's the American success story. It's kind of starts here, like with people like this.
I'm Aiden Dubensky. I am a docent here at the Denison Homestead Museum. And right today we are doing a cooking demonstration.
Awesome. So how long have you been involved in the events here?
Oh, for a long time. I actually started as a high school summer docent in the 1990s.
Wow.
I am not a member of the Denison family. I'm the only person who works here who's not, but they've been nice to me.
Cool. What would be like the most interesting thing that you've learned about this property that you would think would be of interest to people wanting to learn about it?
Well, the thing that I'm always trying to convey to people who come in is how different people's lives were. And the more I learn about it, the more deeply I feel like that's true. We kind of tend to assume that everyone was like us and lived like us. And I think food is one of the easiest ways to see that that's not really how it is. Just as simple as blowing children's minds by saying they have to go get water from a well. I think that really gives you a sense of how our way of life isn't inevitable and it isn't the only way people can or have lived.
Cool. And what would you find like unique or special about this particular event today?
So I really think we're able to get much closer and more hands-on than other events that we here at the museum often can, or that other places that are bigger can do. Like we can bring people right in and get them right up to the fire and let them pick things up and feel them and smell the fire and really see exactly what it's like.
Cool. What kind of things would you recommend for a family that wanted to come here? What things would you say are like a must-see for them?
Must-sees for the homestead?
For the homestead and the property, just for Daffodil Day, things that kids might want to do that they might enjoy.
I mean, it's Daffodil Day, so you can't miss the daffodils. You don't have too long to catch those. And I would also say they should see the property and get outside, and they should come watch me cook, because that's fun.